Today we're going to cover unbalanced formations, why I think they're severely underutilized, and why you need to start taking advantage.
We're not going to get a second chance in the game.
So let's talk unbalanced formations. Now keep in mind, these videos really are geared towards youth coaches, or not so much youth coaches, newer coaches. Coaches that haven't spent 20 years diving into the intricacies of the game. A quick nod to my Illini, who happen to be 6-1 right now, playing great football, really making my weekends fantastic. And before I dive into unbalanced formations, I want to thank these guys right here. There are members from this month that joined the YouTube channel and are supporting us. We would appreciate any support you could give. Tons of access to content that we've created over the last decade. As a First Down member, you can access the mic'd up practices I've been shooting. They're really great. And the reality is, you are good at football based on how good you are at practice. And our Touchdown members that access our full-length content, our full-length presentations from championship coaches that we've shot over the last 5 years. Be sure to check out that join button and see what you could take advantage of as our YouTube channel and our YouTube presence continues to grow. Back to unbalanced formations. So really there's 3 ways to attack. And this comes from battle. I learned this from my dad, big history buff. There's 3 ways that you would attack your opponent in battle. Number 1 is to outnumber them. A bunch of people in one spot. Outnumber them at the point of attack. Number 2 is to flank them. You hear that a lot in battle. We want to attack their flank. Well, the same thing is true in football. And number 3 is to fake one way, make them think you're coming over here, but you actually attack over here. So today we're talking about strategy number 1, which is outnumber them at the point of attack. Now, one way you can outnumber them is pulling backside, pulling linemen from the backside of the play, from the formation, and pulling them and attacking them over to the front side of the formation where you're about to attack. But there's actually another way that's probably even simpler, and that's using unbalanced formations. So let's get over to the whiteboard. I've got a pretty simple shotgun wing T formation here drawn up. So let's take a look at how we could turn this into an unbalanced formation to gain an advantage. Now, a balanced formation, the rules of the game state that I have to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. So here we go, 3 on the left of the center and 3 on the right of the center. That makes this formation balanced. In order to go unbalanced, the easiest way, there's several ways to get it done, but the simplest way is to just take your X, right? If we call this red guy X, let's go ahead and type an X in there, and this blue guy Y. Then I'm going to take my X. Normally my X and my Y, the 2 guys that are eligible for passes, they line up opposite each other all the time. Well, if I take this X and I put him on the same side of the Y, little FYI, that's known as X over, that is the simplest way to unbalance a formation. Now I have 4 men, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the line of scrimmage to the left of the center, and only 2 on the line of scrimmage to the right. So look at what this does to the defense already. When this man was over here, if I was running sweep over here, this corner generally and or safety are unaccounted for in the blocking scheme, and these guys can come down and help make plays. But if I unbalance this, go X over, the corner splits out. And now he's not in here. I can attack in the exact same place, and he's not in here tight to make it to get in and be nosy on the play. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, they would just shift, wouldn't they? Well, the good defenses do, but even good defenses will get caught out of position. And that's because most kids really just look at their own personal visual cue to get lined up. So if I look at this tackle here, well, he never looks at the formation. He just lines up off the guard. The linebacker generally does the same thing. He lines up over the guard to his side. Defensive end, he lines up outside shoulder to the tackle. Corner just always finds the first receiver out here and he lines up over him. And so what you find is guys get out of position. These guys, the defense right here is outnumbered. And as long as I don't do this every formation of the game, generally speaking, it's going to get past them quite a bit. Now, you can use these unbalanced formations whenever you want in the game. I personally like to just mix them in. I won't sit in them for a whole drive. I might just bounce into it once every 3 or 4 downs. And the more I see them working, well, obviously I'll use them more. But what I'm trying to accomplish really is very simple. I'm trying to change the numbers at the point of attack and attack with more guys at lesser guys. Now, how much I'll do out of unbalanced really can depend on a couple of things. So let's talk about the different things that will influence what I do out of unbalanced and which formations I use. I already told you about the simplest one. That's just going X over and running the same thing that you always run. Now, if you get into a situation where you have a defense that is not adjusting, you can kind of continue to change the numbers more and more and more to your favor as the game goes on. Maybe you started off with this and you know that you want to run simply this buck sweep right at the tight end side. Pull this guard and he's going to kick out the first man. Center's got to block back. This backside guard's going to pull and lead. And this tackle usually is going to run cross court. So if I know that I want to run here buck sweep, I've already got this numbers advantage. They didn't shift. And I've taken this corner out of the mix and I get to run it at one less man. Well, if I notice in the game they're still not shifting, do I have a tag in my offense that can take this receiver over here and move him over here as well? If I move him over here as well, I might influence this defense some more. The corner may not get this communication in. He might just scoot in. The safety might scoot over a little bit, and this outside linebacker might scoot out. And now I've expanded the defense even more in my favor in the middle of the game, running the same play. Do I know I'm playing a team that struggles to shift and my quarterback really is a stud? Well, now I could run the same play, but just move this halfback over here as well and let him lead block too. Quarterback just catches it and follows his blocking. So I could really take my unbalanced and just continue to add people to the same side and continue to attack. Again, keep in mind, you say, well, they should just shift, right? Yeah, they should, but you'd be surprised at how often teams do not. Now, of course, once they do start shifting, you as a play caller, well, you'd like to try to use that to your advantage as well. What are they shifting? Are they over-shifting? And can we take advantage of things back to the other side? Go ahead and go unbalanced this way, but run our counter back this way. Now let's go under center for my next example, because this is probably one way that we have had the most success over my last 10 years of calling plays. This is the way we've had the most success using unbalanced. Let's say, for example, we're facing a standard 4-4 defense. And we were good at two things. We were good at belly G, so down scheme. We were really good at rocket toss. So we like attacking at numbers. We would go X over, make this corner expand, and we would toss it out here to this side. Get this man flying in motion, toss it out here, and we've got numbers at the point of attack, and we've got really good blockers out here. We had a good tight end that's good at blocking the edge and an X receiver that can block the edge. So we would go X over and rock it. Then we love to follow that up with tackle over and run the down scheme. So what's tackle over? Well, tackle over takes a little bit more work because you have to mess with the interior of your defense, of your offense, but let's take a look at it. Now my X stays over to that same side, but instead of my tight end staying in the same place, he switches places with the backside tackle, and he replaces him on the line. So he is now at the spot where the backside tackle used to be. Now, if you're brand new to football, brand new to coaching, this looks very funky to you, but you'll be surprised as you start watching the game more and more how often this is used. Now, we love to use this because for us in our offense, this backside tackle, this tackle on the right, was really our best down blocker. He's our best guy. And so now we take our best down blocker and move him over to where we're going to attack and take a guy who's usually significantly skinnier than that man and replace him back on that backside where we're not going to run. We're going to run right here. And now I've displaced these men over here. They know we like to go unbalanced and toss it out there. But now we're going to go unbalanced, bring the same motion to influence, make you think we're about to run rocket. And we're going to go down, down, kick right here in front of it. Down block with my very best down blocker. Down block with my other tackle, who's he's a pretty darn good down blocker. And my guard's going to pull out and kick. I can take this man and influence with him or down block with him. My choice. We've done both. And all these men here on the backside are scooping. My quarterback's going to reverse out, and he's going to give right here to this fullback going underneath. So this combo right here has probably been our most successful over the years. We used to run tackle over and go, well, when we go tackle over, we need to make sure the defenses know we can do other things. So we would go tackle over and try to do different stuff. But as these seasons carried on and moved forward, as we move forward in our understanding and watching defenses react to us, we started to realize, honestly, it doesn't really matter. We just jump into tackle over once in a while. They don't know when it's coming. We show motion, and we run belly underneath it. And we've continued to have success out of that. And it goes back to, if you watched our last release here on YouTube about short yardage, attacking on short yardage, when I talked about Brad Birchfield, it's best ball carriers behind best blockers. And sometimes as football coaches, we can make things too complicated, and we get away from that. So using unbalanced just goes to the basics of attack, which is get a lot of people and get your best people out in front of your best ball carrier. And if you do that, you become hard to stop. So that's it. I know that was awfully basic today, but unbalanced formations are basic. And I'm a little bit blown away at how few teams take advantage of them. So I hope you'll take advantage. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out that join button if you haven't already. Comment below, ask questions, leave tips. We appreciate any and all interactions. We'll see you guys right here next time as we'll keep talking coaching.